Hey guys, so in this video we would like to talk to you about that tough guy or tough woman mentality, because many people have a misconception about what confidence really is, what being tough really means. Now, when you think about it, many people engage in different conflicts and they don't know how to stop escalating. They don't know how to back off. And the reason is that very often, when you have low self-esteem and when you have insecurities yourself, the moment someone engages with you and the moment someone triggers some type of conflict or says something about you, offends you, you feel that your ego has been shattered and you feel like you have to do something to prove to them that you are better than they think you are. And think about it for a second. Have you ever had a situation like this? Have you ever had a situation when you had a conflict with someone and you really tried to prove to that person that you are better, that you are good enough? And when you analyze it, you realize that it comes from insecurity, because if you truly believe in yourself, right, if you have true confidence, you don't have to prove anything to anyone, especially not some asshole who's trying to pick up a fight with you or who is offending you, right? So there are many different stories that would portray this, and I had those situations myself, but I believe that Ilya's story is very powerful because, he's a professional fighter. He knows how to do it, and it would be very easy for him to go to a bar and pick up fights with people. Whenever someone offends him, it's very easy for him just to go and punch them in the face, but he doesn't do it. And the reason is that he doesn't allow people to pull him into their frame, right? He stays calm because he's confident and he knows who he is. So, Ilya, why don't you share your story? Why don't you talk to us about your childhood and, what happened in your life, how you managed to change yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Jimmy. So growing up, I was a very shy and insecure kid. I was very, very skinny. I thought my arms were too small. I thought my ears were too big. And always walking around with a sense of low self-esteem. Now, growing up, I always liked fighting. And going out, as a teenager, without social skills, you go to places, you don't feel right, you don't really connect to people. I used to resort to violence. And I did many things that I'm not proud of in my past. And people that really know me know all these stories. And what I used to do is take people down and being violent with people, and in that way, I felt good about myself. I felt strong, I felt powerful, and I felt confident. Now, as my life continued, I picked up Muay Thai, and I started training, and I started fighting and winning fights, traveling the world afterwards. My confidence grew, my self-esteem grew, and I realized that all those years, the reason I was fighting on the streets and being aggressive and violent, that came from a place of weakness, because I wanted to feel better, I wanted to feel stronger. So now, when I go and I meet those kind of people, I can immediately see myself 10 years ago, when I was that guy that wanted to feel better, stronger than other people, just to feed my ego and feel better about myself. So now, when you meet that kind of person, and he's in your face, he wants to feed his ego. And the reason he does that is because he's weak. Maybe he has a problem with self-esteem, maybe a bad history. So by me reacting to what he does and dragging me to his frame and to his ways, that only makes me a weak person because I cannot control myself. So the way I handle them is, first of all, I stay calm. I don't let them drag me into that frame. If he said something offensive, I said something indifferent back to him. Maybe even make a joke. Maybe even tell him something nice. That's the best way. If you bring kindness into somebody aggressive and you calm him down and you make him your friend, maybe not a friend, but a buddy, you earn their respect. And they'll respect you because they know that they're the weaker person and you're the bigger man.
Mm-hmm. Wow, amazing points, some great points there. So it's all about controlling your frame, and the reason we are making this video, we are talking about it quite a lot. It's very powerful, and most people struggle with it. I used to struggle with it myself, but once you realize that when you truly respect yourself, you wouldn't allow anybody's opinion to affect your behavior, that's when you start winning, right? So whenever you have a situation of conflict, whenever someone is trying to pull you into that negative frame, right, into that negative conflict, remember about this concept and do your best to change the situation and pull them into your frame.
He will respect you more because he will know that you're the bigger person and he is the smaller man.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And there's one more thing I would like to mention, and I believe it's very, very important. When you're watching those videos, don't simply watch them and just move on to the next one. Instead, take some time to really reflect about those concepts in the context of your own life, all right? Because I'm sure that you had situations in your life where this principle applied. So you either got pulled into somebody else's frame or you managed to pull them into your frame. And perhaps you never really thought about the dynamics of those situations, but after watching this video, take a moment, take a few minutes to analyze different conflicts you had in the past. Maybe something as small as arguing with your flatmates about who would wash the dishes next time. Or perhaps something more serious like getting into verbal argument in a bar, whatever it is. Think about those situations and ask yourself, if I could go back in time and handle myself in a better way using those principles, what would I do? Because when you really analyze those situations like this, that's gonna empower you to do the right thing when you face those challenges in the future.